cleaning off the sides, because then it can prevent your roll from sealing and it doesn't stick together. Whereas the white part of the bread sticks together very nicely without a problem. Okay, so we're just going to clean this out a little bit.
Ask you one question, Nooper.
Yes.
This is for me. I'm just saying that now you're making this thing now. Most of the people will eat how many? 1 or 2?
Just a half, maybe.
Just a half?
Because it's quite filling, actually.
Really? Okay.
It is quite filling, yeah.
I see.
If you have some very hungry teenage boys or something, maybe they'll eat 2 per person.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is something, if you boil the egg and keep the bread ready, you can actually take these, you can freeze them just the way they are, and then you can fry them on the day of your party.
I see.
So I'm going to bring the oil right over here just so that you can have a better view of what is going on. And one thing, like when you're frying, this time I'm using a very wide frying pan, but usually when I fry, I use a tall pot so that all of the splatter stays in the pot and it doesn't mess up my stove.
Right.
Okay? But here, because I have to make it visible to everybody, I'm using a frying pan. Usually I don't use a frying pan for frying. I use a saucepan, like, believe it or not.
Yeah, me too. I have actually, you know what? I have electric fryer.
Yeah, electric fryer. Yeah, those are good.
Nice. Yeah, those are the best. Very good. And the
I just took some extra seasoning, the everything bagel seasoning, and I dropped it in here. The oil is nice and hot. We can see. Just drop a crumb and see. Just give it a couple of seconds. Yeah, this is good. So when you put your little test piece, it should start bubbling almost immediately. That's when you know that the oil is ready.
Yeah, that's
you're going
right.
to drop this in, and very gently you're going to baste it with the hot oil. Don't touch it so far. Just let it sit there. And you can increase the heat a little bit because the bread tends to brown very quickly. I'm going to bring it way lower so you can see. Sometimes my phone gets really hot being too close to the stove, but it's used to it.
So you just turn it how many times? Like once this side and then the next side?
You would have to really go by how much of a crunch and a crisp do you want. And every bread will brown at a different time depending on what brand of bread you're using and how much sugar the bread has or what kind of yeast it has. That's the thing that's going to bring the browning. So depending on whatever brand of bread you're using, just keep an eye on it, and you can pick it up from the bottom, tilt it, and see how you see, like, it's already a little bit golden, but it's still white. So I'm going to turn it back on its side, and you can actually put it, 3 or 4 at the same time. Just don't put more than that, depending on the size of your pan.
Oh, okay.
And just gently turn it. Again, if you're vegetarian, you can do this with small potatoes, red skin potatoes. You can boil the potatoes, you can season them, and you can put them inside with the cheese. Or you can put a paneer cube, you can put a paneer tikka cube.
That's what I was thinking, but paneer would be really good.
Paneer would be very good. You can actually make tikkas of paneer in your air fryer and put those, and then air fry the whole thing. So it's definitely a healthier alternative to deep frying. But hey, you know what is Diwali without deep fried snacks? So
now this is an Indian recipe or an American? I mean, does that make any difference?
If you want to make it super Indian, then don't use the everything bagel seasoning. Use things like ajwain and jeera. Use chaat masala. Use achari masala. Things like those. And if you want to keep it more American, then you use the cheese. You use the everything bagel seasoning. So you could really take it anywhere you want to go. It's a very versatile recipe. If you want to make it Italian, you can put pasta sauce inside. You can put mozzarella cheese inside. If you want to make it Mexican, you can put some beans inside. You can put taco cheese inside. Like, there's so much you can do. It's just a very basic recipe, and you can really improvise on whichever way you want to take it. So you can see this is crisping up really well. Just remember that if you're cooking on both sides, the edges of that should not be white. Like, you see, this part is still a little bit, needs a little more color. So make sure you just tilt it on its side and let that cook. And all this flattering is happening because some of the cheese is already starting to come out. So I'm going to now remove this. You don't want to overcook this, okay? You want this to be nice and brown, and after it rests, it's going to be more brown as well. So you're just going to remove it from the flame, and you're going to rest it
Oh, wow.
Okay, now I'm going to rest it a little bit, and then I'm going to also now show you another appetizer that nobody thinks of. And Diwali comes and we are thinking, oh, matti banani hai, and we have to make papdi and we have to make matti at home. But I'm going to show you a really quick hack. If you shop in the Indian grocery stores, you have to get this thing from the Pakistani grocery store or Indian grocery store. It's called besan. This is a besan ka paratha that's frozen. Like it's just like a rock. Totally frozen.
What brand is that one? This is
called Taza.
Taza. Okay, Taza.
And it's called besan paratha. Okay, so you're going to bring this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then you're going to microwave this for 30 to 40 seconds till it's nicely thawed.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many
this is
having?
really a fun thing that I tried and I absolutely loved it, and whoever tasted it loved it too. So after microwaving, it's going to become soft and pliable.
How long do you put in the microwave?
I put it in for 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
Yeah, okay. You're going to get this, and then you're going to cut it into strips. So this has already got the besan. It has all the masalas in it. For me, I think it's a little bit under seasoned, so it could use a little bit of salt, but we can always put chaat masala after we are done frying it, okay? So this you can actually cut into strips. You can air fry it and make really nice papdis out of it. You can deep fry it in the same oil in which you're frying your egg bombs, and it tastes really good. So I am going to cut it into strips. I will put the oil back on the stove.
So it becomes like a matti type?
Yeah, it actually tastes like papdi. It tastes like besan ki papdi.
Oh.
Yeah, so someone already did the work for you. You just have to bring it home and then air fry it or pan fry it or whatever. Right. And you can serve it with a dipping sauce. You can serve it with your green and imli chutneys. It tastes really, really good. And it really has that homemade taste, believe it or not. Okay, so I've cut it into strips like this. You can use a pizza cutter or you can just cut it into strips with a knife like I did. And you're going to drop them into the hot oil. You can also air fry this. You can bake these. So you don't have to go through the whole exercise of making the dough for the mattis and then frying the mattis and
I know
laboriously rolling them out, cutting them.
That's a lot of work.
You can also cut them with scissors. I mean, people do it with scissors too. I like to use my knife, and just fry it on a medium heat so that it's nice and crisp. Also, you can poke holes in it to make sure that it's ultra crisp. When you poke holes, then it doesn't puff up at all. Then you know that it's going to be absolutely flat. Okay, so I'm gonna.
It's done because it's hot oil, so
yes.
It goes quick.
Yeah, your oil is already hot, so it's not like it's any rocket science. You don't have to make a mess in the kitchen. You just buy this. And people who are coming to your party, like when they walk in, they want like a welcome drink. They want something quick to munch on. Maybe they've been driving for a while. So you want to have something ready. So if you're doing like a charcuterie board, like a desi charcuterie board, this is a great alternative. I'm frying it in olive oil. I'm not using any corn oil or soybean oil or whatever. So it really tends to have a very pleasant taste. And it can also stay in a dabba for a long time. So if you're going to make them in a large batch, you can use this as a topping for your salads to crumble on top. Oh my God, it smells so good. I'm going to lower the heat and you see how quickly it browns. You see how quickly it browns?
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen this in the stores, but even besan ki roti kha lo, aise hi kha lo. Isn't that a good thing?
ऐसे तो खा ही लो. ऐसे तो खाते ही हैं.
खाते ही हैं, लेकिन I like
ऐसे तो आप खाते ही हो. When you have besan ki roti, you can eat it for breakfast. Actually, besan ki roti is a healthier alternative to parathas because besan has more protein.
It's good for diabetics.
So if you want to do like a high protein breakfast, you should aim for chickpea flour. You should aim for Greek yogurt. You should aim for black chane ki roti. Those are all the things that are high protein. And when you eat a high protein breakfast, then it satiates you more. It doesn't let your insulin spike too much. And that is so beneficial for overall health, right? Now it's come out of the oil.
It's like a little version of a missi roti type, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. It really is. But it doesn't fall apart. Like you see how it holds up. Even the hot oil, it holds up. It doesn't fall apart. This is super, super nice. I'm going to go ahead and add some chaat masala to this.
It's crispy too, right?
Yeah, it's super. Very crispy. And let it cool down. I will actually break it apart and show you how crisp it is. Add a little bit of chaat masala. So this is one thing that's ready. I'm going to plate that as well.
1 second, I want to answer some comments here. Ramaji carry missy roti jaise maine bhi kaya, and Gautam is saying subah subah bhook lag gayi hai.
Aa jao.
And Nupur is it okay? Yeah, Kamlesh, she is frying it in olive oil.
Yes, I only use light olive oil for my food,
olive oil.
But don't use the green olive oil. I'll show you exactly which jar I'm talking about.
Is it like a yellow color or something like a?
Yes, I'll show you what it is, and it says on the bottle for grilling and frying, so you know that that's what you have to use for frying. So this is how I'm going to plate this, and I know you guys are suckers for good plating skills, so I have really prepared a platter. I'm going to show you how I plate it. This is the oil that I use for everything.
Yeah, that's what we got.
And it'll say for grilling and frying. It'll say light olive oil. It'll say for grilling and frying.
Yeah, I got that from Costco. Yeah. So you're suggesting to eat this with the chutney? Chutney is good.
So now I'm going to go ahead and make the dipping sauce that's going to go with our cheese bombs. And also another thing that I'm going to offer with as an accompaniment is a pickled cucumber. Now, whenever you're using something that's deep fried, always try to serve something that's acidic. So whether it's vinegar, onions, whether it's lemon juice with cucumbers, whatever it is that you need, because it helps to cut the grease on the palate. So when you're eating something that's deep fried, if you serve it with something that is acidic, has vinegar or lemon juice, it really helps to cut the grease that you feel. So it adds a little bit of freshness. This is the Mexican dressing tahini that I've added. I've already soaked the cucumbers in lemon juice. I did not add any salt when I was soaking it because I didn't want them to release any moisture. Some chaat masala goes in. Gonna give it a gentle toss. You can add some sesame oil. You can add some sesame seeds. You can add some red mirchi powder, whatever you want. All of those can go in. And I have a little plating dish in which I'm gonna put this. So, you know, when you present something, it's always about the accompaniments. It's not just about the one thing that you just make it and slap it in somebody's face and throw it in front of them. It's really about plating it elegantly, making it look like you put a lot of thought into it. And this is a simple thing. It doesn't take any long to do this. I've kept the skin on this cucumber because it gives us a really nice texture and it's not bitter.
And also, one more thing. The onions you just said, something about onions. Which onions are good? I personally, I'm a big fan of the red onions.
Yes, so if you like the vinegared onions, make it with red onions and then also add equal parts of vinegar and water to the brine. Add some sugar, add some salt, and then add a little piece of beetroot to give it that vibrant pink color.
Oh, okay. That's
what makes it happen. Yeah, that's what makes it rock. Okay, so this is the accompaniment that's going to go in onto our platter. So we have a couple of things coming together really nicely. Now we're going to make a dipping sauce that's going to go with the cheese bombs. Now, just remember, whenever you're trying to create a sauce or a dipping sauce and you don't want to do the boring green chutney, tamarind chutney, you want to break away from something like that, just remember, if your appetizer is creamy, then you don't want to do a creamy dipping sauce. You want to do an acidic dipping sauce. Right. If your appetizer is not creamy, like it has no mayonnaise, no cheese, you can do a tomato-based sauce. You can do, if it has cheese, then you won't do anything that has mayonnaise. It's not a good idea, okay? If it has no cheese, then you can add like mayonnaise. You can add any of your favorite sauces. So I'm going to keep it super simple. I will add some barbecue sauce for that smoky flavor. Now, when you add barbecue sauce to any dipping sauce, it makes it seem like you've spent hours in the kitchen making this sauce, which may not be true, but that's the feel it gives. Okay, and I'm using
what did you put first? Sorry, I didn't see.
Barbecue sauce. I'm going to show you.
Barbecue sauce. Okay.
So I'm just using good old hickory original barbecue sauce. And these are from the store. Like I'm not making this from scratch. Yeah. And then there's a chili garlic sriracha sauce. Okay, so that's gone in. Then add a little bit of chaat masala. I'm gonna give it a.
You're fond of chaat masala a lot, right, Nupur?
You know, chaat masala has that umami that makes you want to take the next bite.
Yeah.
That khatta meetha taste that you get. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't have barbecue sauce, you can always add a little bit of honey to this. It'll work. And then you can taste it. Like if you want it on the sweeter side, you want it on the spicier side. Oh, I think this is great. It's sweet from the barbecue sauce and it has that kick of the sriracha. So for me, It's perfect. I'm going to spoon it over to another dish.
This is for the breakfast bomb, right? That
yes, I'm gonna show you how